Hello, welcome to the next round of working on the Tamiya Ducati model. Gradually working through it. Right now, I am adding water slide decals to the tires, rear rims actually. Getting closer and closer to finishing. Yes, it's a slow process. So this is just videoing, putting the decals kind of on there. You can see a little bit of the red stripe. It needs down across the bottom, both sides there. I'm using the microset and microsol solutions to put the decals on with. They seem to work really well. I found that from other posts, people use that, so I followed that idea or solution or suggestions, and that's where we are now. Right now I'm just putting on the next decal in this half circle here, which is the rim. Trying to slide it off if I can without ruining it. And get it to land where it's supposed to. So far, the top one was the easiest. Now this one's not landing exactly how it's supposed to. Or I should say not how, but where it's supposed to. So I'm just trying to add more liquid to get it to, there we go, to kind of lay how it's supposed to lay or where it's supposed to lay. And then see if I can get it to move around here. Or not move, or slide around. Oops, okay, we'll take it that way maybe. It's not working as well as I'd like. Let's see if I can drag it with the Q-tip. Nope, that's not working either. So we'll add more liquid. See if I can get it to slide around. I'm trying not to dump over the solution on the desk on the top here on my workbench, which I've done that already. I dumped the microsol solution not too recently, but on the last model I did, and successfully dumped a bunch of it onto the on top here. I'm trying to slide it around. Just used the tweezers to slide it. There we go. All right. Now the trick is to get the water or the liquid solution out from behind without shifting the decal, at least in the wrong direction. The right direction's okay, but not the wrong direction. Basically try not to slide them apart. So far I'm doing pretty bad because there's nobody watching. Well, maybe somebody will watch later. Anyway, we'll keep going. So now the next one. So here I have them on the paper there. Wet it a little bit. Slide the water out of the way so I don't put my hand in it, which I've already done once. Take some more solution and kind of paint it around there. Welcome to the video. Hope you enjoy it or at least learn something from it. Hello. So again, I'm adding decals to this model. Trying to get it done because I've been working on it for quite a while. Trying to get it to fall into place here. Sorry if I'm not talking much, I'm trying to concentrate and get this decal to lay right. Let's see if I can get it to push in right with the Q-tip. Almost. That's a little better. Not too bad. So there we go. You can almost see it. It's like a little red stripe that runs around. This is what it looks. That's even worse. How far deep it is in there, but anyway, that's the little stripe that runs all the way around it that I'm trying to add to the rim there. Once that's on, then I can stick the rubber tire back on again, and then we can start to get closer to assembling the whole thing. Excuse me. Now the back side's going to be challenging because it's deep in there. I don't even know if you put it in there, you're going to actually must. The outside has a better looking lip than that side. Anyway. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. Nice. That's not good. So, it's supposed to go way out here on the edge. At least that's what it looks like on that picture. Well, definitely doesn't go on the inside there. So I've put it in the wrong spot. So now we're going to see how well I can take it off. I think I'm going to want to put the rubber tire on, because I'm going to end up messing the decal up if I don't do that later. Now I get to take it off. The decal, that is. Let's see if I can get it to come off now. At least this solution works at making it easier to take off. It says someplace, which I know it, there you go. I just dropped them into the water. It will help, hopefully. And I'll put the tire on, and the direction is that way. I figure popping the tire on now will be easier, because I have to it's a very snug fit, and you end up having to squish around the edge where this decal is supposed to go. And if I do that with the tire, with the rim on, I have a probability of moving it around. Now, the question is, maybe it goes on the rubber. It's hard to tell. Let me take the box. That probably doesn't help much either. You could argue both ways, that it goes on the plastic or the rubber. There's like a little bit of a lip on there, and that's almost what it looks like it goes, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, don't mind me, I'm just gonna... It goes on the plastic, it looks like. Anyway, so now we get to try and do this again. First thing, let me see if I can get these to go back on the paper. One. Oops, almost. At least that way there. This one's folding over on itself here. This is why it's always good to make sure you've read the instructions and actually know where it's going before you start this whole thing. But I thought I knew where it was going. On the one side it looks like there's plenty of space for it to go kind of up against the, kind of inside the wheel, but looks like that's not true, or at least placement wise, that it actually is supposed to go kind of out on the rim almost. I mean, based on the image, you could almost put it on the rubber tire part, but I won't do that because, I don't know, but somebody can comment later that I've put it on the wrong part of the rim. I'm not a motorcycle rider, so I don't know for sure. Let's see if I can get this to land right. Kind of. Okay, that looks decent. Just lift the decal up off the plastic. This is the tedious part of it. It's a very thin location that I'm trying to get this to land on. And it keeps kind of sliding off. Or in this side's case, not even getting out to where it's supposed to go. Other place was so much easier to get it into. This is just not as fun. This isn't working very well. All right. Let's see if I can get it back on the paper, because the paper did make it slightly easier. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, next one. Let's get some of this stuff on here. These are a pain. Definitely bringing them off the paper was easier. Every time I touch it, I mess it up. Let's start over. Sorry, I'm not talking very much. I'm trying to concentrate on getting this little sticker back, or decal actually, kind of back to where it's supposed to go and stay. It's this little, very thin area on the rim that it occupies, and trying to get it to line up. It's going to stay where it is. It's not exactly there. So we try again. And keep trying until we can get it to land where it's supposed to. It's kind of folded in a little more than it should. What I'm trying to do here is use the Q-tip to try to kind of walk it out. That's not really working very well. While keeping it soaked so that it does get, there we go. Definitely the most complicated ones I've put on, and trying to get them to line up right. It's just getting worse. There we go. Well, obviously, maybe I'm not very good at this. Could be why. Or also why, I should say. Going round and around circles here. This doesn't go too well. We might resort to no stickers. Because that's just the easiest way to handle this and not have to deal with them. There we go. That would be actually the best place to stick it right there, kind of in that groove. And yes, maybe that's where I'm supposed to be sticking it. Another person that would know would be the one that rides the Ducati, which I don't. So, and I didn't look up kind of pictures of these, so I'm relying on the box and the instructions to get me where I need to be. Maybe. Ooh, that looks good. Don't touch it. It's the rule of thumb, right? Once you get it there, don't touch it, because then you just mess it up. And you gotta start all over again. Alright, so there's 2 out of the 3. So the one that was giving me trouble, I just moved on to the next row, or next edge, instead. Now, back to this one that was giving me trouble. See if I can work through it here. Just got to get it back kind of on this sheet of paper here. There we go. Alright. Well, not don't speak too soon yet. So, possibly one side. Now, we use this stuff, which kind of softens it, and then hopefully makes it kind of form. The only thing I don't know is that if that's not good for the rubber. Hopefully it's okay. All right. So the next one would be to do the other side. I just don't know if I want to do that. All I can see is myself. Messing up this side. What I need to do probably is dry it. Or let it dry out. I'll be right back. Alright. Yeah, it looks okay. It's not that great, but it is what it is. So again, that's kind of how it turned out. Pop it out. So simply get it back out again, which is a good sign. Get some paper towels and the bead. Oh, make sure I don't mess up the decal again. Basically, what I want to do here is I want to spray this side with the matte. Basically, this flat clear. Spray that over top of the rim on this side, so that way the decal sticks and can't get rubbed off. Let's see, I don't want to do this. Just tape. So I'll put it down on a piece of tape. This. Hopefully, yes, good. The last thing I'll do is mess it up. Okay. Oh, actually, I'll do that even. That'll work. Never mind. There's a rib that runs, and I'm just going to grab that. I'm trying to basically keep my hands out of the way of where I'm going to be painting. I'll do that to this, then I'll go on to the front tire, and do the same thing. And then by the time I'm done with the front tire, this one will be dry. So we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I just sprayed that with flat clear. So then that will basically paint in the decal so it won't rub off. There's a reason for that. Now we'll try, let's see if I can get the next round, or the ones for the front tire, so that way I can kind of move back and forth. And that is those. I don't want to take them all. I just want this. Basically cutting them out with scissors. And I need 3. So 1, 2. I need 3. I need 2. No, I need 2. Okay. I'm going to put these in the water, get them soaking. Oops, as I throw it on the ground. That doesn't help. Alright. Alright, now I gotta go dig it off the ground. Okay, so I stick them into the water, and there we go. Thank you. This is where we are with the motorcycle currently. It's a 1/24 scale, so this is the size of the tires. Pretty good size. And I'm getting basically the decals onto the rim, the edge of the rim. You can kind of see it on that one there. Once that's done, then I can finish assembling the tires and get them onto the bike itself. Whoops. Right now I've got it so it's just kind of, there's the stand here in the back that the back tire goes into. Normally it's part of the kit, which is how the bike stands up, like a race bike would stand up. I could actually forgot. There's also I have 2 other decals here that I could put on the front brake calipers. Basically, it's a little Brembo decal that goes on the caliper. So you know that it's Brembo. There are. Those basically go on these pieces here, on this edge here. You could almost see it. I think I'll do that one too. There's just a few of these. I know I've got one and a few, but a couple of these that I can put on kind of in this process to kind of help with the time, because I just basically, once I get them on the tire, I need some time for it to kind of dry, and then I can paint it, or spray it, that is, with the clear, the flat clear, and that'll basically lock the decal on. So the Brembo sticker goes on these 2 pieces I've got, and then I just added another instruction decal, which goes kind of on this down here and there. It's similar to kind of this piece. It's the opposite side. You can see how it has kind of these little decals that are the different labels that go on, like the ECU and whatever else, computer. So, all right. Closer and closer to the end. Looks like they're still not soft enough yet to transfer. So they're just in a little, basically took a plastic to-go cup, cut the bottom off of it, and fill it with water, so it's just a little thing about a ½ inch deep. Works pretty well. That way it's deep enough. Looks like those are lifting. That's good, okay. So we take, this is the, there, I don't know if it's ready yet. I'll assume it is. Oops. I found a video or instructional video, because I haven't done these in a long time, and So basically have kind of a paper towel over here ready to drop them on the water slides decals, and that way the extra water or excess water is absorbed into the paper towel, while still making the decal malleable enough so that you can actually slide it and transfer it onto the position where it's supposed to, or the part that it's supposed to be going on to. So pretty good. Almost. It's getting there. Oops. Oops. So now I'm just trying to, there we go. So there, you probably can't, oh well, kind of. It's a little red lettering. Almost visible. Camera can't focus in that far, or it's not allowed, not focusing in anyway. So before it had just embossed, but you couldn't see anything in there. So now we've got the decal over the Brembo part of the caliper, which is just the manufacturer name. They make kind of performance brake kits for all sorts of different applications. Racing or just a custom type of aftermarket or what have you, but it's all kind of racing inspired. So there we go. Can't even see it really. Anyway, trust me, it's there. You can kind of see that a reddish or line. Basically, that's the decal stuck over. There was kind of a depression that was the basically said Bembro, and that sticker or decal kind of fit over top of it. Make sure I'm sticking on the right spot. Yeah. This one I was waiting to paint where this was going, but I don't have the paint that I need, and I don't want to buy more paint at this point. So we're just going to stick it on, and it was basically just black paint. You say, well, the whole thing is black. Well, there's kind of a semi-gloss black, which is most of what the bike has on it. The frame and places like that. And this was just straight black, so it would have been a little slightly glossier compared to the rest of it. But anyway, like I said, I didn't want to go and buy more paint just to paint this little tiny piece, at least at this point. So that's what I was waiting, but right now I've decided as of this second to not do that, so we're sticking the decal on. where that one is. See down there in the bottom, kind of this part in here, that's where it went. So that side is done. Now, the front tire, which is over yonder. And let's see, so it goes up on the top, and it goes the opposite way that I've got it, the tire that is. So it goes this way, and the tread are the wrong direction. So let's flip it around so the tread's going the right way, and then we'll do the same thing. Put the decals on, take the tire off, spray it, and then I'm going to move it back to that one once I've got this one done. Okay, so the bottom, and now that's going the right direction. What I'm doing is there's an arrow on the sidewall that points in a direction wherever you are. So it's going to go that way. Okay. So like this. And 2 goes on this side. Okay, here we go. Fun, fun, fun. This is not working as well. It's just trying to get my both hands to work together here. And this one actually looks like it's got a little bit of a sidewall there on the rim. So maybe that's going to help my favor here. Neighbor's home. Even pulling in. Alright, that worked okay. Well, outside of not being centered. we go. So that one worked all right. Next one. And by the time I get to the last one, I will be not an expert, but better, or more adept than what I am currently. There we go. I think also the front tire here has a little bit larger lip to deal with, so that is helping quite a bit. Means that maybe when I get to the point of taking the tire off that I'll have an issue because it might pull this off. So anyway, hopefully not. On to the last one. That went fairly smoothly. So again, maybe by the time I get to the back side of this one, I will be more experienced, which probably goes without saying, right? Anyway, there's a little bit of a bubble there. Basically, I'm kind of trying to roll the bubbles out, which in there are just basically water bubbles, or the solvent bubbles. I just shifted it. Okay. So there we go, that's that one. Not terrible. That side there isn't good though. touch this decal part. Looks okay. Right there, not so okay. Yep. Let that dry a little bit, so it'll shrink back maybe some. Or not shrink, but it'll just get the a little bit of the solvent that might still be there. I'm trying to make it look better and I'm messing it up, so. Don't touch it. That's that. So then let's just paint it with this stuff, which is just kind of the, it's basically a solution that softens it so that it, you have to be careful I don't move the decal, but basically it softens the decal so that it kind of forms a little nicer to things. If you have it kind of going around complex shapes and what have you, this makes kind of melts it just a melts. It's probably not exactly, softens it enough so that it forms around those surfaces better. So, all right, let that sit. This one here, where I'm trying to get this to sit around it without messing up the decal on the other side. Okay. Oh, I guess I could just do it that way. Okay, so now we go, this one's dried out, so we put that back in there to soften. And the big fat one is 6. Looks like they give you 3 pieces to form, to use to kind of join together to make the color band that goes around. But on the decal set here, they've got an extra one, it looks like, which it's nice, I guess. So that way, if you mess one up, or I guess maybe even if you wanted to not have the monogram part on there, then you could opt for just the stripe instead. I'm putting the monogram on there. So that's also part of the your decisions based on what you want to make it look like when you're all said and done with the whole thing. So it's been a fun process overall. These are probably dry. Let me go and spray the calipers. That way spray them with the flat clear. Let's see, kind of out there, at the distance. That's where I'm going. Back. So, okay, one's good. Oops. Come on, get away from each other. Okay, here we go. Next one. This is like a super thin area that you're trying to put this decal into, at least compared to the front tire. Now, the next piece. Okay, that one was fairly smooth. Next one. Okay, well that was, at least at this point, oh, spoke too soon. Alright, well that was much better than the first time, but as I said, you learn as you do it, so each time it's easier to do. Alright, so that's that one. Now, this one I should be able to pan it with the flat. Let me do that now. So flat clear on this one now. That way again it locks in the decal. What? If I do it, nope, I'm gonna spray it. There you go. All right, well, so we are 3/4 of the way done. Whoops. 3/4 of the way done. Thank you for all 4 likes and 1 person watching. Hopefully that is of my lovely girlfriend and co-owner of the site, or of the channel. Actually, she's the primary, I help. So thank you for watching, everybody. Hello, welcome. Thanks for watching and stopping by. What I'm doing for the new arrivals is putting water transfer decals onto, you can see the kind of the little red or thin red stripe. That's a water transfer decal. It's going on to the rim of the Ducati, the Tamiya Ducati model that I'm working on. This is where we are so far. You see quite a bit of the detail. Let me flip it around to their side here. You can see you got the, behind the black there is the shock, and we got the chain and everything here. You got brake lines, and there's also some on this side over here. Once I get the front tire, the rear tire, then I can mount them in here, and they go, front tire obviously goes in there. We've got the rotor assemblies, brake rotor assemblies for the front tires. Once the front tire is on, then basically it's going to go in like this. And then fenders and so forth. I'm pretty far along with it, but I still have to do some of the cowl painting, which are kind of these pieces right here. They haven't been painted yet. They need to be painted basically black on the back, and then half of it goes red. And the red is the matches kind of this intensity of red. That's kind of the gas tank. This is the back part, kind of the black back flaring. Kind of goes on this piece here. You can see you got the brake lights and everything in there. This kind of goes essentially about like that. There's more pieces that have to go on before this goes on, but that's about where it goes. Whoops, can't even see what I'm doing. So it goes on about like this. This kit has screws, which is kind of nice. Everything kind of screws together. It can't go on though until these side panels here get screwed on, something like that, about there. My fingers are all in the way. Anyway, so those go on, and then we get further and further along and closer to being finished. The parts that are put on are smaller and smaller, or the pile of them, so that means we're getting closer to the end. Let's do, that should be pretty good. This is the front tire, front rim. I just painted or sprayed it, so it should be decent enough to kind of go and pop into the tire here. Get at the rack just to kind of keep it spaced off the ground. That way I can add the pieces, not pieces, but I'm sorry, the decal onto the back side. And then once that's done, let it dry, paint it, and we're that much closer to being finished. And then Melissa will tell you that I've been working on this for way too long, and it's a big waste of time, but I enjoy it. So as I was saying earlier, there's what appears to be, even though I couldn't tell you if that's what the case is, because all the instructions are in Japanese, which is okay because it's still got pictures and I can follow pictures. So it's possible that there's the ability to not put the, as I said earlier, the markings on the rims like I am doing, and just have the red stripe go all the way around. I'm opting for the to not do that. There's basically a, if you can kind of tell, but there's kind of up there, you can see the kind of yellow, that's words, and it's small enough I can't tell you what it says, especially since I have contacts on, and it's, don't know what it says, can't read it. don't think it's actually in English. Anyway, so this is where we are. Almost. My goal was to finish this weekend. At least that's what I told Melissa. We'll see how close we can get to that. There's obviously I have more painting I need to do, so but I knew that was the case. That's basically the cowling, like I said, but I can get all the way assembled up to that point. The tires, really, once I get them finished off, then that's the next kind of big piece. Get the front assembled, front forks, front tire, the front fender assembly, and again kind of the rotors on either side of the tire, and then the brake calipers, which I just painted there, or cleared there, and then the handlebars, or not the handlebars are on, but the grips and the brake and clutch. Actually, that's not the clutch, it would be brake calipers, or brake handles. And then there's actually tubing, just like in the back, that runs from these down to the rotor, or down to the brake calipers. And you can kind of see these little pieces right here sticking out. Plastic tubing goes onto those, and then plugs into that. Plugs into this little silver part back here, which is painted silver. There's kind of, you might be able to, there you go, almost see little nubs, and the hose goes on either side of that, wraps around the fork, and then goes up to the grips to mimic the brake lines. So overall, it's got a lot of detail. Again, this is 24 scale, so it's not too big. It's a decent size with a decent amount of detail. This has an extra kit I bought, which if you've watched other videos, you'll know that. But the kit basically is metal etch, and you make the chain out of the metal etch, and also the different rotors. This is the rear rotor. Again, the kind of front rotors, these are all metal etch, so they're the center is multiple pieces of metal etch. The actual rotors are 2 pieces of metal etch. This one, you can actually see, has the speed sensor, which is that kind of ring in the center here, kind of silver one. So that there's that level of detail on the extra kit that I bought, compared to this is the plastic one it came with, and you can see that versus this is the one that takes the place of it, and you can kind of see the difference there. Detail, well, I can't zoom in enough, the camera's not going to do it, but this piece here has probably 8, maybe more, no, maybe 12 pieces of photo etch all stacked up together, versus this being a single piece of plastic, molded plastic. Same thing with the other side. Here it is, here, single piece, versus this here. That's the back side anyway. So that's the extra kit. So let's see, are these? Not yet. They still need to soak some more. Nope, that's good. Okay. They're both ready to go. Stick them there so the extra water kind of dries out. And we start right over that. So I'm trying to make sure that I have that logo centered kind of on both sides in about the same spot, but as you can imagine, that's not an easy thing to do with these, but I'm trying. So that's one. And then we're going to go to two. Be careful. I'm trying to use the Q-tip here too, to kind of soak up the extra solution. And other kind of sites or places I looked at to kind of, again, to familiarize myself with this process again, the process of putting it on, that is. The suggestion was using the Q-tip kind of in a rolling motion to roll out any of the liquid that may still be underneath it, kind of squeezing it out the ends. The technique is to do it gentle enough so that you don't grab the water decal and shift it around. So that's what I'm trying not to do. So far I've been pretty successful in shifting it around. Anyway. So there we go, next one. I'm just trying to push the decal around so that it actually kind of butts up or lines up with the other edge there, so that there's not a gap. There we go. Using the Q-tip in the way that I was trying not to do it before, to shift the decal around, but in this case it worked. I used it to do that exact same thing which I was trying not to do earlier. Basically shift it so that it lines up or butts up against the other one, so that there's not a gap. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So not too bad. Next one. Do the same thing on this side. Kind of shift it such that it touches. There we go. And they overlap, which is a good thing too, so then you're not trying to get them to line up on both ends and getting it perfectly spaced and all that kind of stuff. So that's a good thing. Assuming I don't move anything with the Q-tip. So that's the other one. kind of see it? Okay. So now these should be dry. These are again the calipers. They should be dry. That clear dries pretty fast, so I think those are enough of the stickers that or decals I can stick on now. There are a couple more pieces of photo etch that can go on, but they're onto the grips here. They actually go onto the brake. Little symbols that look like that are the symbol for used by the brake, the Brembo, or Brembo. I don't know if there's not any. I can show you. It looks like a C almost. Anyway, they're super tiny. But now we'll just let this dry. And that one should be pretty good. That looks good. So let me go and spray this one. Alright, so be right back once I do this. Again, we're just spraying this with clear. It's a flat clear. And that will lock in the decal. Let me just close these two things up. Another tip that I had read or saw in a YouTube video about using these micro set and micro sol is that you get two different paintbrushes to use, and I have two different ones that I use, one for each, so that I don't get them mixed up. Because again, one is a kind of a solution that you would use to let the decal float on and kind of set it, and the second one is one that you use to actually soften the decal and get it to conform. So I'm out to paint again, so you can watch. That's painted, or not, well, it's cleared. It's cleared. It's nearly not painted. It is a paint, but it's not the same thing as painting it red or green or blue or something. So anyway, that is the show for today. Thank you for everybody that came by and watched. Hope you got some information from it, and hopefully it will help you in your next model building experience, or even help you with this particular model if you were to get it and to put it together. So thanks. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.